Hey YouTube, we're out here in the shop again today, working on the Wifey Deere, I think is what I'm going to call it. I realized that was kind of a play on words just when I was doing out the other update, but let's see what I got done. So this is the transmission. You can see the smoke still coming off that bracket. It's 801 Peerless. I put a straight axle in it, made out of 51-200, which is ball bearing steel. I didn't heat treat it, probably should have, but I don't have the time. So we're just going to hope that it's going to hold up. It's plus 2 inches. I would really be concerned about all this whole setup if it was on anything but my wife's tractor with 21-inch tires and 11-horse motor that's going to get babied. So if this breaks, I have an 820 I can throw in it, but I wanted to try to not have to use another 820 if I could help it. This bracket is going to be for the brakes. I'm converting to this big drum. Shout out to old Giver the Beans 97 on the YouTubes. Definitely check him out if you haven't. His dad uses this setup on his stuff, and that's where I got the idea for it. I believe he found on a tractor, but this one's a go-kart parts, go-kart drum, go-kart band. It was like, I don't know, 20 bucks for the whole setup. And then the key to making this all work is this is a Peerless 820 disc brake. I lined it up, drilled and tapped it. Still need to make some spacers. I'm not totally done with this part. Ouch, that is very hot. Hot. So that slides on there. And then I will have need to put a stud right here. So this part will bolt on. And then this part will have a linkage going up to the brake rod. So when you press the brake rod, it cinches down on this. And I think this will work a lot better than the disc brakes, because you got all this braking material and this much braking diameter, where the factory rotor was like this big, and it had just the two little pads. You know, we all know what the two little pads look like. Thought I broke one out of here, but basically, you know, that long by that tall. So it's worth a shot anyways. Yeah, it's going to get mud in it, but Jerry seems to do good. He gets in a lot of mud. So parts are cheap, super available. Have them on Amazon next day if you need them. So I think it's worth a shot. Well, I'm going to put the phone down and get some more work done. Then I'll bring you back with us. All right, well, as you can see, no longer down at Dodge shop, back up to my shop. I'll show you what we got done. So transmission's back together. Made up some quickie spacers. I need to still throw the keyways in this. Got the brakes pretty well not done, but I got to make the piece that goes in here so that when you push on the brake rod, or you know, step on the brakes, it pulls the brake rod and tightens that up. But thought it come out pretty good. Just a random piece of plate steel, welded it into this one, and then it has 2 bolts in here. So I'm gonna have to use sleeve retainer on this so that it doesn't just slide off. Kind of worried about that, but I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Probably end up just tacking a tack weld on the end of the shaft if it starts becoming an issue. I need to get the right length bolts for those. Might have them here, but when I pulled back up here, I saw that Brown Santa had been here. Everybody loves a good unboxing video. So what did we get? I don't know if you can see. It's from Surplus. Surplus. Nah, Surplus Center. Yeah. I think I know what's in here, but you guys don't know what's in here. Maybe it's exciting for you. Some people love unboxing shit. So, what's this? Oh, I think I know what this one is. Pulley. Ooh. Pulley. Double pulley. This thing's heavy, man. I gotta do some serious drilling on this thing. Oh my God, look at this. Chuck this up in the lathe and take most of that freaking off. That's ridiculous. Yep. That's for the workhorse. This one here. This one is for Lindsay's tractor. Wifey Deere. I think it's a 5.5. It's supposed to be anyways. And then should be the big dog. Yeah, big dog. Yep, So that's got some, Jesus, that's got some heft to it too. So I'll have to do some, probably set it up in the middle with the DRO and do some holes around here, maybe a couple holes here. Definitely a bunch of holes all the way around here for the Holy Pulley mod. But definitely want to get some weight off these. I love these cast iron pulleys. They don't have any deflection, which is basically, like say this was a sheet metal pulley. We're looking at it like this. And when you put a hard load on these, you can even do it in the bench if you want to. What it'll do is it'll take that metal and flex it out. Like this will peel out and this will peel out just a little bit. It doesn't bend it. It's just putting a load on it tweaks it. Well, the way the belts work, I mean, obviously they adjust. People use stamped steel pulleys all the time, no problem. But I got a more consistent clutch out of these cast iron because the cast iron don't move. If cast iron's gonna move, it's gonna fucking snap, which is a negative. You know, if you bash it on a big rock or something, it might chip a piece out of it. But it's a risk I'm willing to take. I like them. They also don't have as big a lip as the stainless steel, so you definitely have to run better keepers on these because the belt will come off easier than a not a stainless steel, but a sheet metal stamped steel pulley. So that'll go on the wife's tractor, and this will go on the Onan. And like I say, I got to definitely drill a bunch of holes in this. That's, oh my god, this thing's probably 10 pounds, at least 5 pounds. Yeah. So thought process on these is, I think keyword think, I can get 2 half-inch belts. Well, I know I can get 2 half-inch belts, but so the belt issue we run into is if you go real big on your pulleys, then your belt speed gets super high, which means your idler pulleys are flying, which burns them out. But if you go small pulleys, like this is a 4, or no, this is a 6, sorry. So this is a 6. Where's my transmission? Pulley. There it is. There's the transmission. Goodness, it's about as heavy. Now this is a 4, which normally I would never run a 4-inch rear pulley. I mean, I have one for Rusty's party pulley, but that's, you know, no mud, just field racing type stuff. But obviously this tractor is going to be for mud. And, I would never run a 4-inch pulley on a mud tractor, except where I'm going to try, since this is a double, having 2 half-inch belts, it should be like running an 8-inch rear pulley. It should have the same amount of belt contact on the pulley as a single 8 going to a double 4. So, and then up front, you know, that's Christ, that's like running a 12-inch front pulley. So it should have all kinds of belt grip. Hopefully, you know, this is all theoretically, you know, fuck, I might not work at all. Belts might just fight each other because they never really wear in, but I'm gonna try it. I've heard of some other people doing it. There's a wheel horse guy from up in Michigan. I don't know that he has YouTube stuff. I heard that he did it. I think he was on ATLTF, but he didn't have much details, and it was just like a pure mud bogger tractor. Like 34-inch, great big rear tires, and so clutch action was not his thing. Like if it would stop and go, you know, that would be fine for a mud dragster type tractor. But for me, everything I do, the clutch has to be smooth, it has to be consistent, and it's basically you live or die by the clutch on these super technical trails. So I'm hoping that I can still get a good clutch feel out of this dual belt setup, and maybe I can't, and then I wasted this money on these pulleys, and I'll have to end up maybe shaving one of them off and just going to singles, and then keeping this for drier, faster stuff, and then getting like a 7-5 like everybody else is running for the mud stuff, which wouldn't be a bad thing either. Because one of the reasons I went to the 6-4 is ratio wise, it's right between a 7-5 and an 8-5. So it's 7-5, and then faster is a 6-4, and then faster than a 6-4 is a 5-8. So it should be smack dab in the middle of those two ratios, which should hopefully get me what we need. I love the 7-5, but I'm putting it on the workhorse, which is, we'll take you over there and give you an update on it because it's actually looking pretty cool. Lost my train of thought. Squirrels. All right. So I lost my train of thought, but the train of thought was the motor that's on this one. I'll flip you around. I got rid of the 16 Briggs. We got a 20 horse off of a wheel horse 520 front end, 520 rear rims, 520 dash. I cut out the hood. Obviously it's too short. Gonna have to make a filler piece to make it work. No big deal. But yeah, so back to the pulley ratio. The guys are running 75s. They're running them on those Vanguard twins and Cooler twins, those are great motors. I just, for some reason, have a soft spot for these. Maybe I'll run it for a little bit and it falls apart and I hate them and I swap it off. But these are not going to rev like the V twins. They're just not. They just don't move air like that. Even if they do, you get them up close to the same revs. This thing is totally running out of fucking steam on the top end. So my thought was to gear it up a little bit more, because these have a lot more torque than those little twins. This is a 778, 782, something like that cc, and the Vanguard 20s are 5 something cc's, 530 cc's, 580 cc's, something like that. So now they're still making, you know, great power because overhead valves flow so much better, but torque is a factor much more of displacement and compression than it is airflow. Airflow is more horsepower. So I think in order to best take advantage of what this motor's good at, which is just stump pulling, ripping torque and making power up to about 3 grand, maybe 4 grand if you're lucky, gear it just a fuzz higher. Well, I'll do a walk around to this thing. Obviously we got a long way to go. Needs paint, needs pretty much everything. Needs a steering shaft extended. I didn't realize that 520 dashes come up higher, so that's the factory workhorse steering shaft is obviously too short, so I'll have to extend it, hook up the steering. A long way to go on it, but that's a quick update for it anyways. Well, there you guys go. Another quick and dirty update. Going to try to keep them coming. Not saying that's 100% going to happen, but I do have some pretty cool stuff coming up. Going to go on a big trip down to North Carolina, see the North Carolina boys. And also I have a bunch of good footage I've been working on for the ride where Giver the Beans came up. I know he gets this stuff out next day. I'm not that fast. I wish I was. I'm going to try to get some of that out coming up here soon and try to keep these updates rolling. Well, if you liked it, give me a thumbs up. Shoot a comment down below. Creeper Crawler out.